Beautiful. All right, Ramoish, can you see me? You can see me all right.
Yeah, totally.
Beautiful. Okay. So it's for those who are joining us in Israel or in Melbourne on Zoom, and those of you who are here as well, we'll kind of do it like this. You can kind of see some of us as well. Um, it's it's beautiful as always to see you, Moish, though not under the circumstances that we would have hoped for.
Mm.
I saw you just recently, and it was very special and very beautiful. And it's amazing how much things have changed in this month or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so obviously everyone today is we're all struggling. We're all going through it in different ways, and
Mm.
obviously you're over there, and maybe you can share a little bit, without we're here to be inspired, but um, I'm sure it's a different sort of experience there. And in many ways, in every way, it's more difficult in Israel. But there's also, I think, for all of us, we're kind of like finding these ways to connect, and it feels hard here. And so obviously a lot of us are coming and connecting in community, but there's something maybe a little bit less visceral here. And it's difficult. That's the amazing thing is I'm Israel everywhere, wherever we are. I mean, people are suffering and struggling, and it's a challenging time. So I'm really grateful that Reb Moish, that you made some time for us in middle of your afternoon here, beginning of your afternoon. And I know, as you were saying, you also need this and to kind of carve out these times to meditate and to sing and to connect. So it's really good to see you, Reb Moish, my dearest brother. And yeah, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah. Wow. So thank you, Noam, and thanks to whoever's here tuning in. And I really agree with you, Noam, like we spoke about yesterday, that making these kind of opportunities is important for all of us. Um, and yeah, I think these are really difficult times and very surreal. There's a lot of things happening at once. There's a lot of pain and grief. Um, there's a lot of apprehension about the future. And at the same time, there's a lot of things that people in Israel haven't felt for many, many, many years, and even things that maybe have never been felt before. And one of these things is unity. There's a real strong sense of unity and coming together. I know that's happening all around the world, in Jewish communities all around the world. But particularly in Israel, where there's been such a polarization in the last few years, there's such a sense of coming together. I've mainly been in and around Tekoa, where I live. Security situation is at sort of high risk. We live in the middle of Judea. We're surrounded by Palestinian villages. And until this point, there have been pretty friendly relations most of the time. But of course, the security is on a high alert and the army's moved in, and it's surreal. Many of my friends and my neighbors have gone down south and are awaiting, whatever's going to happen next. So with all of that, I think there's a lot of feelings that we're all feeling together. And I think the first thing to say is that we're all here tonight and today because we care. We care about what's happening to our people, and we care about what's happening with us. And we don't want to be alone. We want to be together. And just taking a moment to connect to that part of us that cares is already getting into, I think, what this evening is about, which is an evening of prayer and meditation and breathing and presence, and giving some space to what's here. And I want to just focus in just for a moment and just see what happens when I ask the question, what brought you here tonight? And just notice what comes up. And maybe it's your care for being with community. Maybe it's your care for connecting to Israel. Maybe you're searching for inspiration, fortitude, and strength. But just check in. What what brought you here tonight? What's really precious and meaningful for you in this moment that led you to either switching on the Zoom or coming to shul to be together? And just take a moment to let that be felt. Let that care and concern be felt. And if you can, just even notice how it feels inside the body, so inside your heart and your stomach. Maybe there's a sensation that comes along with that, a warmth or a tingling. Or maybe there are thoughts that come along with it. And just bringing some presence to all of that. And we can all just agree for the next few minutes to pause and leave our day-to-day concerns aside and focus our energy and our attention with this deeper place of care that's present. And feeling that we're doing something together as a community, as a collective, and that there's a strength and a comfort in not being alone in all of this. And if you'd like, you can take your hand, your right hand, and just place it gently on your heart. And just feel the warmth of your hand on your heart. And just inviting some care and compassion to the tender and the fragile or sad, hurt, scared, whatever you're holding inside that needs some care and compassion. So just really feel it physically and feel it inside as we slow down. And you might want to add a few gentle breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just allowing the chest and the belly to expand. And see if that physical spaciousness of the breath can also provide some space for all the feelings that are present. And you're welcome to leave your hand there, or you can place it back on your lap or by your sides. And also with your eyes either open or closed, whatever's comfortable, I'm going to play a few songs, and just to either sing or allow yourself to feel and be connected in this moment. The first song I'm going to play is a tune to the words of the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha Yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha V'yasein lecha shalom V'yasein lecha shalom shalom Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha Yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha V'yasein lecha shalom V'yasein lecha shalom 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 V'yasein lecha shalom 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 V'yasein lecha shalom 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 V'yasein lecha shalom Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha Yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha V'yasein lecha shalom. If you feel like joining in, you can sing Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. V'yasein lecha shalom. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. V'yasein lecha shalom. So we're going to do two meditative exercises tonight. But before we go into the meditation, I just want to share, I think it's important to share a little bit of some of the positive, complex but positive things that are happening, at least that I've seen and I've experienced. And because so often we're just getting the media and seeing so much bad, and we're not, the goodness isn't being reported. So I just want to share a few little kind of anecdotes from the last few days. So last Friday in Tekoa, they have a shuk shishi, which is like a market where people sell different things for Shabbat. And of course, the mood is, like I explained, the security situation is tense, and there's army around and weapons and military. It's difficult. At the same time, there's this feeling of together, of achdut, and a few people set up some music outside of this market on Friday and invited the community to come. And it was just so beautiful to see, these nigunim before Shabbos and people doing their Shabbos shopping, and kids are there and people are there. And you just have this moment. I had a moment where I was like overwhelmed by emotion and just realized this moment is how I know and how I can trust that everything's going to be okay, because we are people that choose life and we love life, and we know how to be with, in the same moment, intense suffering and anguish, and also joy, and somehow not minimizing chas v'shalom the difficulty, but choosing life in that moment. And it was so beautiful to see. And then a few days later, same group of people organized another musical event in the big park, and everyone came together. And I think this such an image, I think, of Israel and Israeli society. The person who was playing the keyboard, he was in Miluim, he's in reserve duty, and he must have had a few minutes between his shifts or whatever he was doing. And he came from Miluim, and his M16 rifle was underneath his keyboard. And his children were behind him, and there he is playing nigunim, giving us chizuk. And even as I say this, it's quite emotional just to see like how warriors, our heroes, their fathers, their musicians, their accountants, their lawyers, their restaurant owners, they're our brothers and our sisters. And we know what we're fighting for, and we don't want to fight, but we choose to, and with that also choosing life. So it's really very meaningful, powerful moment. And the other thing that I've seen is all this action and mobility and mobilizing. There's been money raised, and I'm sure a lot of people in Australia have been involved in raising money and helping with humanitarian issues, and people who've moved from the south, and equipment for soldiers, and food and pizzas and barbecues. There's this almost survival instinct that kicks in and says, I need to step out of feeling helpless, because that's something that I think all of us have been sitting with, a helpless feeling. And I know I've heard from friends also outside of Israel how that's in some ways even more profound. Like, what can we do to help? And snapping into action and being helpful and trying to do whatever we can is a way not to feel helpless, which is so important. And at the same time, it can come at the expense of feeling into what's present. It's almost like a coping mechanism, really powerful one, because the feelings can be so overwhelming that as long as we're doing something, we don't have to sit in and feel. And in fact, I was sitting with a group of men last night, and some of them were saying that they feel even guilty about being with their own experience. They feel guilty. How can I sit and feel or process or sing while there's so much needed to be done? And one of the things that I shared that I believe, and I think that's what we're doing here tonight, is that if we really look at ourselves, our people, and humanity as a whole, but specifically our people as a collective, then the collective now is hurting. The collective now is overwhelmed. When we as a group of conscious, caring people come together and take an hour and say, wait, we want to slow down, we want to feel, we want to digest a very small chunk of this pain, then we become not only more resourced for ourselves, but for others around us, for our families, for our friends, for our children. We become a place, a resource where they can come and feel a little bit more comfort. They can come and feel a bit more regulated in our presence. So in fact, our healing and our meditating and our prayer is not only a gift for us to help us, it's also our contribution back to the community and the collective, which makes it so meaningful to think that we can somehow, through having this opportunity, actually contribute back into our community, starting with our loved ones, our family, the people we're immediately in contact with, where they can look at us and see, we're okay, or we're a little bit more okay, or we've been able to sit and feel a little bit or feel safe. We can provide that safety and nurture to others. So that kind of frames what we're going to be doing now with this exercise. And this is something I heard from a friend of mine who was telling me that his daughter was really feeling scared at home. And he said to her, I'm going to teach you a meditation. And we know that there are angels that are situated in our around our physical body. So there's Michael on the right and Gabriel on the left. Now I'm forgetting the different names of the angels, if you can forgive me for a moment. Maybe Noam can jump in. Yemini Michael, Mismoli Gabriel, Milfanai Uriel, Mechorai,
Raphael.
Raphael. And Mi'al Roshi, above me, is Shchinat Kel, is the feminine divine aspects of Hashem. So he told his daughter that she could visualize these angels around her and feel the safety first in her body, and then extend the visualization to her home, and then from there to her street, and then there for the whole of Tekoa, where I live, it's the name of the town that I live, and then for all of Eretz Israel, and from there the whole world, and really visualizing the angels protecting. So I'm going to guide us through this meditation, and particularly any meditation that's helpful for a child is definitely going to be helpful for an adult. The scared and vulnerable places inside of us usually feel like little children who need to be comforted. So we want to honor that too. So I'm just going to invite us now into back into a meditative state. So just begin by gently closing your eyes and placing your feet on the floor in front of you, and just getting a sense of the ground supporting you. And your hands can either fall by your side or gently on your lap. And once again, just taking a moment to arrive to now. And if you notice thoughts about getting this right, or judgment, or thinking about yesterday or tomorrow, you can just thank your mind for doing its job and come back to the sound of my voice. And I want to guide us to our breath. And we're going to be gently breathing in through the nose. So breathing in, and then exhaling through the mouth. And breathing in through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth, letting go. And with each breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, just allow your shoulders to drop a little bit. And continue to breathe in and out. And we're activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our rest and relaxation response. So we want to continue to breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale now, just see if you can allow the exhalation to extend a little bit longer than the inhalation. So we go in through the nose, and nice and slow, letting the air out all the way. And then breathing in again. And gently letting go. And we're going to continue to do this for a couple of minutes. If your mind wanders, that's perfectly fine. Just bring your attention back to the breath. In and out. And bringing the air in and letting go. And see if you can fill up not just your belly, but also your chest and lungs, full breath and letting go. And just remembering to elongate the exhale after the inhale. And just bringing attention to how your body is feeling right now. If there's any tension or stress or tightness. And see if you can almost imagine bringing the breath, the air, towards that part of your body, expanding around it. On the inhale, and then letting it go in the exhale. So letting out that stress or tension or tightness. So bring the air in and expanding. And then letting go. And just get a sense of how you're feeling in this moment, how it feels to be in the room, if you're at Blake Street or at home. And just notice if there's a feeling of safety, of comfort. And notice if you can get a sense of the space around you. Even though your eyes are closed, you can kind of get a sense of the room that you're in or the space that you're inhabiting in this moment. Maybe almost visualizing yourself on a chair, a sofa, wherever you're sitting. And sort of feeling, sensing through the body the room around you. So you can get a sense that you're inside, you're within some kind of space. And we'll start by bringing attention to the right-hand side, Yamin, Mimini, Michael, Michael. On my right-hand side, there's an angel protecting me. Just get a feeling, maybe your right hand arm or your leg starts to tingle a little bit. Maybe you feel a warmth or sense a light or a color, or maybe nothing at all, and that's fine too. Just getting a feeling that there's something there on the right-hand side. You're not alone there. And letting that in as much as possible without too much effort. And again, if your mind is judging or wondering if this is working or if you're doing it right or the value of this exercise, just invite you to acknowledge your mind, thank it for its message, and come back to the exercise, the breathing, sensing. And now bringing attention to the left side of the body, Gavriel, the angel Gavriel, and getting a sense of the left-hand side of your body, how it's being held, supported. And noticing if there's a feeling, a warmth, a color, a texture, an image, something else. And just letting that be, maybe a tingling sensation, the left hand arm, elbow, leg. And now bringing attention to the front of the body, your face, your chest, stomach. The Malach, the angel, Uriel. And get a sense of what's in front of you and the space in front of you. Again, maybe you sense a color or a warmth, a tingling. Maybe there's some words that come up, a message of care, protection, of safety. It could be that there's nothing at all, and that's okay too. And just being with that now as well. And now bringing attention to the back. So many of us need support, someone to have our back, to be there behind us, to know that we can rest or fall or lean into. The angel Raphael, the healing angel behind us, supporting us, healing us. And just notice the feeling of having that support behind you. And maybe allowing your shoulders to rest into that, or your lower back, wherever you hold attention or need support. And notice if there's a feeling of maybe even hands touching your shoulders, tingling, a light, a warmth. And finally, bringing awareness to what's above our head, above our body. Above us, there's Shrinat, Kel, the divine feminine presence, the motherly, loving feminine energy, nurturing, shielding, holding, comforting, almost all-encompassing, transcendent, taking you in its loving, tender, caring. And get a sense of what that's like, just for this moment, to be completely held and seen. And just noticing how it feels, all of it, to have the angels on your side and above and around and beyond all of that. A nurturing presence. And even the parts of us that are feeling scared or alone can be held within that presence. And just allow that to be felt as much as you can without forcing anything, and just resting in the presence of all of that. And if you're getting a sense of how this feels right now, maybe there's a word that comes, describes how you're feeling right now. Maybe it's loved or cared for, held, safe. Try and get a sense of the whole of this, all of this experience in a word or a sentence, as a feeling. And now imagine that radiating out of you into the space beyond your body, beyond your immediate surroundings, into the room, if you're at home, or into the Beit Knesset, the synagogue, shul, if you're in the shul, in and around the room in which you're sitting in and beyond it, encompassing that. And now zooming out and noticing that that feeling can extend in the street where you're located. Maybe you can even see, almost from a bird's eye view, the neighborhood or the suburb that you're in. Maybe you can bring up in your mind and your heart different people that you're concerned or caring about, and send it in their direction. Just thinking about their names and imagining their faces in this moment. And allow that to extend beyond the suburb, beyond the names, stretching outwards to the community at large, to your people in Israel, to your brothers and sisters across the world. And in this moment of connectedness and expansion, to all people, wherever they are, who need healing, who need support, whether you know them or about them or not, to all of humanity that's needing so much healing. And get a sense of that emanating from you, from around you, and also being so much bigger than you, and that you're part of that somehow. You're one part of that. We are one part of this big collective. And just sensing again that we're part of something that's so much bigger than us, that's nurturing and loving and watching and guiding, supporting. And as we come towards the end of this meditation, just want to take a moment to invite whoever would like to have a personal prayer, tefillah, and just see if you can ask for whatever it is that you need right now. For you, for others. To simply become aware of what it is that you wish for or need, desire. And without trying to figure out how prayer works or what it means to ask, just in that very simple, tmimut, innocent way, like a child asking a loving parent. Just take a moment to ask. However small, however big. Just knowing that whatever it is that you need is significant in the eyes of this loving presence that we've invited in. And trusting that what you're asking for is being heard and seen. And noticing what that's like to be seen and be heard, even before we know the outcome of our prayer, just the mere fact that we're being seen, you're being heard, your needs, they matter. Your prayers count. They are welcome. And you can stay here for as long as feels right. And when you're ready, just gently coming back to your breath the same way that we entered into this meditation. Just gently breathing in through the nose. Now through the mouth. pushing your feet again on the ground, becoming grounded. Without any rush, when it feels right, you can gently open up your eyes and allow yourself to come back into the room, into wherever you find yourself right now. B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michal Mismali Gavriel Yefanai Uriel Mechol Ephraim Yaroshi Shechinat Kel B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Yimini Michal Mismali Gavriel Milfanai Uriel Yechol Ephraim Ki Yaroshi Shechinat Kel Di-da-da-da-da-da-da. Di-da-da-da-da. Di-da-da-da-da-da. Di-da-da-da-da. B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michal Mismali Gavriel Milfanai Uriel Mechol Ephraim Yaroshi Shechinat Kel Okay, so just want to just end by firstly thank everyone for coming and Noam for organizing this beautiful moment that we could carve out for ourselves. And just as a kind of parting message that whatever you're feeling right now, hopefully the heart rate has slowed down and the heart has opened a little bit and feeling a bit more grounded and present, to let that linger, to not just leave it in the room, to take that inside and share it with the people that we come in contact with. And remember that when the world is spinning and there's so much noise and chaos and fear, that we can slow down, even though it's hard, and just take a moment, notice what's happening for us, and put a hand on our heart. Remember that we're feeling overwhelmed and scared because there are things that we really care about. If we didn't care about them, they wouldn't bother us. So it's a sign of our love and our compassion and our care, and it's calling for our attention, and we can give it that attention and that presence and become grounded, and with that have the fortitude to keep going. And Bezrat Hashem, with the help of God, we should have good news, and all our brothers and sisters who are being held should be returned home, and we should know no more suffering. Laila Tov, everyone. Thank you so much.
Moish, I want to just no, wait, no, not yet.
Yeah.
I want to thank you on behalf of all of us for kind of transporting us for a few moments.
Yeah.
You know, and you were before talking about being in Tekoa and seeing the beauty and seeing the life. And, you know, I have these moments when I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit sad about the situation. I think about different people. I think about the people that I know in Am Yisrael, about these like shining lights, amazing people who are filled with life and with love and for a desire for peace in the world, who wouldn't want to hurt anyone, and you know, but just want life and want to live as we are. And you know, you're one of those people who my mind flashes to as kind of these bright lights. And you kind of brought, even though, you know, we've got this big screen here and it's not, you know, we would much prefer to have you with us here, but this is amazing that we can do this, and we thank you for your time. And also, we know, please God, we'll get through this. And when we get on the other end of it, we also know there's going to be a lot of healing that needs to be done and a lot of work that needs to be done to move forward. And I'm confident that you, Moish, will be leading that charge of healing people, and with, you know, kind of the gentle way in which you do things, and the power of the nigun and the power of the neshama that you have within you. And we all are going to be a part of that healing as well. But I want to bless you, and your family should be safe, and your family to Am Yisrael should be safe. We pray for no more violence. We pray that our soldiers do what needs to be done to keep Am Yisrael safe, and we can hold the strength and bless them with the success and what they need to do, moving towards peace. And that's ultimately what everyone's praying for. And it's a deeply sad time, but these moments and moments with you give us all strength over here. So I want to thank you so much, Moish. And I just want to mention to those of you at home and those of you here, so next week, please God, we'll have one of Moish and my friends, Ari Wenig, will be here with us in the room. Please God, we'll be doing a meditation here in the room, and just kind of continuing, because we're going to come together to kind of continue to build these tools to find some peace within. But Moish, we're blessed to have your time and to have you in Am Yisrael, and Chazak ve'amatz. Stay strong. We love you, and we'll see you soon, man.
Love your holy work. No, I love you, man.
God bless.
Yes.
And to those of you who are tuning in on Zoom, thanks so much, and God bless you as well. I'm going to end it here, guys. Thanks so much.